Let's find out who's the T102sportsnow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. This student-athlete showed their mettle in competition and put up incredible numbers, just like Fanelli, Evans, and Patel.
When you've been injured by someone else's carelessness, you're dealing with one of the worst times in your life. You want a trusted friend and neighbor you can count on. And that's what sets us apart at Fanelli, Evans, and Patel.
Back with another Fanelli, Evans, and Patel, T102sportsnow.com Athlete of the Week. This week's honor going to Tri-Valley senior Maggie Hoffman-Long. Maggie, thanks for being here with us today. So, Maggie, just a big week for you last week, and I know I introduced you as a Tri-Valley senior, but you're in a co-op with Minersville Track and Field, where you claim the MVP of the Pan Ram Invitational. Last Saturday, you win the long jump, the triple jump, and you place 6th in the 100. Also led the Battlin Miners to a second-place team finish in that Invitational, and then followed it up by winning all your events in a dual meet last week against Tamaqua. Let's start with the Invitational. Take me back through last Saturday, how you were feeling going into the day, and then kind of event by event, and finally at the end, your reaction to getting that second place team finish.
So for when we first got there, I was actually late for long jump, so I got yelled at by the lady that was there. But after that, it was going pretty well. My jumps were all right, but they weren't great. But I got a pretty good one, I think my third jump, right before I had to go off and run the 100 trials. So I went and then I ran the 100 trials, which actually won my heat, which put me in the finals for that. And then I came back and finished jumping long jump, where I ended up winning, which was awesome, and I was not expecting because I was ranked second. And then in the 100, which I don't think I was supposed to be in the finals for that either, I managed to snag 6th place, which was pretty awesome because I was seeded 7th going into that. So right after the 100, we actually started triple jump, which took a while. So like in between there, I ended up running the 4x1. And we set a new school record for that, which was awesome.
Wow.
The freshmen on that team are definitely pretty we have 2 freshmen and a sophomore coming up, and it's pretty awesome to see them just get faster and faster each race we do. It's really great. But after that, I went and finished with triple jump, which took a while, but I just remember I got very burnt. And was not expecting to win that either because I wasn't jumping great. But I ended up getting one that was pretty good, which pulled me the win, which was nice. I actually left right after that and didn't find out that I got field MVP until my friend texted me and was like, I have this plaque for you. You got field MVP. Like, I had no idea that was even a thing. So that was pretty awesome. And then later found out that we got second of the team, which was even better because that was a huge, huge meet. So for a small school like us, getting second there was great.
Yeah, incredible out of 33 teams and a lot of competition to get second place, I think is really impressive, and you led the way with that. You know, we know you were a state medalist last year. What were some of the individual goals that you set for yourself coming into your senior season?
For my senior season, I knew I wanted to medal in states again, hopefully in long and triple jump, but definitely want to medal in triple jump again. I also have the goal to go to New Balance Nationals. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I wanted to set the bar high just to see where I could reach.
Yeah, and through a couple invitationals and dual meets so far, what have you noticed the most improvement in as far as maybe something you might have focused on in practice?
Definitely in my starts for the 100, I've noticed that becoming increasingly better, which is all thanks to my coach, who does a really great job just working on the block starts and getting that down. And then I've also noticed a lot of improvement on my treble jump, specifically in my second phase. I used to struggle with that a lot, and I wasn't getting nearly as far, but I've been able to hold it after working on it a lot longer.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of transition into talking about all the different schools you represent. You wear a lot of hats. We know you're a Tri-Valley senior. We just covered that you're on the Minersville track team. Tell us about the other co-op that you were involved in.
Over the winter, I was involved in a co-op with Upper Dauphin for girls wrestling, which went really well. It's a great opportunity for a bunch of the girls to get out there and try a new sport, which wasn't previously offered, especially since it's a newer sport. Everyone's learning together, which is really nice.
Was that your first year doing that?
It's actually my second year with Upper Dauphin this
Okay.
year. I started last year, my junior year, which was the first year it was offered to us. It was a lot of fun
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, great to see that sport growing and kind of getting even more into your background as an athlete now. Are you doing any sports outside of the track and the wrestling?
I do. I play rugby for Berks County. And I actually recently won Player of the Week for that as well. So that was exciting. And I am on a USA Pathway team that goes around nationally and plays in tournaments also.
That's fascinating. So how did you get into rugby? Tell me more about that.
So both my parents played in college. It's actually kind of how they met. And then
Wow.
when they moved, they played and graduated, they played for Harrisburg rugby team. And so I kind of grew up in that environment surrounded by people who play rugby. And I started doing touch rugby when I was in first grade, I think. And I started tackling in my freshman year.
So do you think there's a future in that for you?
Yes, I'm actually going to Brown University to play rugby.
Incredible. Ivy Leaguer, a woman of many talents we have as our athlete of the week here. So track, wrestling, rugby. What was your favorite sport growing up? And then is it still the same now or has it changed over the years?
Growing up, my favorite sport was actually soccer. And
Yeah.
once I hit high school, though, it definitely started transitioning more to rugby.
Yeah. Okay. We talked a lot about your present accomplishments, getting to your background there as an athlete. I want to touch on the future now. You have a pretty big ceremony coming up April 26th at Mountain Valley. It's a pretty big honor to get the female scholar athlete. What was your reaction to kind of receiving that?
When I found out I received Female Scholar Athlete for trial, I was super excited because I actually wasn't necessarily expecting it. It was a really hard fight between me and one of my best friends, Avery Miller. It was really close between us. So it was a huge honor when I found out, and I was really surprised.
That'll be a great celebration of all the wonderful female athletes for the Schuylkill County Women's Athletic Association to put that banquet on coming up here soon at the end of April at Mountain Valley. And obviously, you're in the middle of your senior year right now. You know, you're enjoying that, you're competing, you're trying to set yourself up for district and states. Where do you see yourself at this time next year? I know you told us you'll be going to Brown. Where do you see kind of your journey in your life, both academically and athletically, taking you once you're at Brown?
My goal next year is to hopefully be doing really well in my classes. I'm studying political science, so I know I'm going to be taking a lot of history-based classes and things around that. Oh, okay, I'll restart. My hope for next year is that around this time I'll be doing really well in my classes. I'm studying political science, and my eventual goal is to become a lawyer. Big picture, I want to go to Harvard Law, but that is kind of far and a little stressful to think about. So, but also for rugby, right now would be my seventh season for Brown. So I'd be hoping to be winning a bunch of games there too, because recently they're doing really well, and I hope to be able to continue that.
Absolutely. Ivy League rugby. That'll be fun to watch. Want to have a little bit of fun before you get out of here, Maggie. Let's do some this or that Schuylkill County edition. We'll start it off. Bonfires or block parties?
Bonfires.
Okay. Would you rather swim in a lake or hike in the woods?
Ooh, probably hike in the woods.
Okay. If you're in the Tri Valley student section, would you rather go to a football game on Friday night or a basketball game in the winter?
Honestly, probably a basketball game in the winter.
Okay. And being from the Valley, out from the West End, if you want to grab a slice of pizza, you going to Prima or Legends?
Legends. I love Legends pizza.
That is Maggie Hoffman-Long, our T102sportsnow.com, Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. Maggie, really great story out of you. Excited to cover that banquet that you'll be at for the Schuylkill County Women's Athletic Association Female Scholar Athlete. I think you and 13 others going to be honored from around the county with that award. And then congratulations on all your success. Good luck in leagues and districts and states and all the cool things in track coming up. And then I'm sure we'll be covering that down the road.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for having me and for this honor of Athlete of the Week. It's awesome.
Check us out next Wednesday for another T102sportsnow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. At Fanelli, Evans, and Patel, get the best when faced with the worst.